Tervetuloa! If you've been following since for the beginning, I guess you already know the formula, so let's hop right into part 5. So, the first battle against Baron's troops is over, and now we have started to build a new ship for Nevi and all the other troops who are about to embark on the island of Juggerton to stop evil Baron's plans. And Dekimus even says that the ship is already built, so we can only wait until we get into action. Unfortunately enough, a General Spears out of all people dares to intervene. General Spears out of all people dares to intervene. And because of that, this whole episode is just about fighting against him. So, we gather Rethnar and Atreyos against Spearos. But along the way, Ares finds his way there also. This is getting really interesting. So, fire versus ice versus our former rivals of sorts. Yeah, it really gets really intense here. And I was wrong about you can't really talk about the fight choreography when it's about a comic. Well, just take a look at 5 seconds to this episode where the battle's on. It's beautiful. Alright, and what's next? Well, also, Dekimus and Nevi are there, but they didn't do anything. Don't know why. They're just there. And also there's this really nice camping reference. Well, Atreyos, this is not your fight, boy. Until Ares shows up, and then, okay, it's also your fight. I thought it was pretty hilarious. So, there isn't much to talk about this episode other than just Spearos and why he decided to turn against the Order Empire despite him having served the Empire for how long? Well, he says that King Zarek has turned into this selfish tyrant and it's just a bad king in general. And he still can't stand that Atreyos is still mentally like a teen and he's still leading the Spearton Empire. That's something he can't stand and wants to put an end to it. But wasn't he the man who gave up his whole fortune free willingly in the end of season 1? There's gotta be something we're missing here. Don't know what it is. Well, guess we'll just find it out in part 7. I guess I'm just gonna reveal part 7 here. What the fuck, part 6 there as well. Because there isn't really much talk about part 5. Other than just Ragnar teams up with Atreyos to fight against Spearos. And Spearos has gone mad and there's gotta be something wrong with him. Gotta do something to it. So, let's move on to part 6, a direct continuation over this. So that was part 5, Frostfire. Let's move on to part 6, Ally. And what do you think a word ally in the context of part 5? Well, this sure knows how to surprise. Excuse me. So, the battle is still on against Spearos. And now Ares has joined there too. It's only until Spearos decides that he had enough. And now, you shall face my true potential. Sorry. And guess what? He activates his full ice powers he has at his disposal. Kind of weird that Ragnar at least isn't shown to have one, but it's not too big of a deal. So, then, the battle still goes on, and Ragnar does his meteor jumping move, like he does in the finale of the Order campaign from Stick War 3. And now, he does it once again. But this time, Spearos has a trick up his sleeve. And he uses, what was the name of the maneuver again? And so, Ragnar fails at his own move. Oh shit. Guess what? We're going for another tangent here. Yes. I love doing this. So, oh, guess what? We're not doing that. We're not going there yet, but I really want to go there. Yeah, so, back in point. While Atreyos and Ares are still fighting against each other, Atreyos seemingly protects himself, and also Ares from that strike Spearos did. And so their duel is kind of over. And Atreyos also moves on to Spearos. Also because Atreyos managed to wound Ares in a way that he can't fight anymore. So there's no reason to focus on him anymore. All right, and then now it's Atreyos and Ragnar versus this overpowered or just charged up Spearos. Some few dialogue here and there, until Atreyos has enough and activates into the mode he entered in Season 1 finale. We still don't know what that is, or I don't at least remember is it explained or not. Please tell me if it is. And so, when he activates this mode, he managed to even prove a good fight for Spearos. But yes, it's this sort of overcharged Spearos, so Atreyos cannot make it. But then suddenly, Ares has seen a change in himself, in which Atreyos protected him from that strike from Spearos, despite them being blood enemies. Them being bloody enemies and rivals. And still Atreyos went to go as far as protecting. And he seemingly doesn't want to kill him, he just keeps him alive. And also helps him to stand up after his injury. So there's this sort of honorable man who even saved his life. And he just wants to kill him. So what's the point there anymore? So Ares sees this through, and decides to switch sides for good. At least for this battle. And now, of course, he says that he can't stand Spearos, and yeah, I can see them also. They are also enemies after all. And so, with the help of Ares and Atreyos together, they managed to defeat Spearos. But there's something off. because after Speartons is defeated, we cut into a scene with Baron once again, with this, with your usual, snowflake balls and all that. And he sees the fight from there. But when he sees Speartons to lose, he can't stand it. No, so Ares, who Dero said was dead, is after all not dead. He's actually alive. And also, Spearos, apparently they managed to manipulate him also to join in Baron's lines and try and kill Atreyos. Why Atreyos specifically, don't know. Something. Or just to defeat the Spearton Empire, which caused their own defeat in the Order's shoreline. Sure. They might even talk about that for a moment. So no, there isn't any problem there. And we see Baron pulling some sort of mask and starts to aim at it to Dero. And Dero just begs, "Don't suck my soul, please. Give me another chance." And he gets one chance, and Baron just says, "No. Yes, this time you will get one chance. But there will be no longer another one. All right." And it's really full of tension here. I like it. Of course, it's your cliché mustache twiddlers doing, but then again, Spears was so close to win, and now still the thing that Dero couldn't find. Ares is still okay. There's more depth to it. So I thought they couldn't find Ares because there was no gravestone for him here. So there was nowhere his body to be found. But apparently Dero has ability to sense bodies of people. And so he can, by that way, reanimate them. Don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. So it makes Dero look more powerful, but then again, it kind of messes up with the storyline itself. So you can have a simple explanation for something, but then come up with something contrived. And just what the F was there that Dero couldn't sense Ares' body? Okay, we don't know. But okay, we don't know yet. I'm not sure yet to count it as a problem. Because Ares coming back is a rabbit hole a lot deeper than you can actually expect. But guess I'll just leave that alone for now. So what else there is to be talked about? Well, our scene with Baron and Dero is over, and we see them obviously being mad and afraid because of this turn of events. And so we got back to Atreyos and his friends. And we see Ares getting tied up because no one else really trusts him aside from Atreyos, who helped him there. And so Ares helped him. But yeah, I don't blame anyone for not trusting Ares yet that much. And so that concludes part 6's plot. But the tangent I was speaking of. So, we see Bratna fail at his signature move. It's something that is very peculiar. It's just so interesting. and something you can't really find. Of course, you can find it in many ways, but seeing a hero fail at his signature move is something so rare. And I I don't know, did I mention it properly in my part 4 and 3 reviews, but we actually see our villains making some progress, and they actually win some few encounters, which is so rare in modern entertainment. Looking at you, Ninjago Crystallized, and so why I believe it's a good choice. Well, allow me to bring another example, and this there I would use Manfred von Karma von Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series. So Manfred von Karma acts as a final boss of the first Phoenix Wright game. And we see him being a relentless, ruthless perfectionist who never fails at anything, and is always right, you can basically never pose a threat to him. You even get a fake game over at one point against him. But it's only during the last minutes of the trial where you can finally turn the tides against him, where he's actually struggling as well. And so, Manfred von Karma has his own signature move, snapping his fingers where he can get the courtroom's attention, and so destroy your logic. And there, he tries it once again, at least in the anime adaptation. He tries to do his finger snap once again, when you finally manage to reveal him as the true culprit. Of course, he tries to oppose this narrative, and he even tries to do his finger snap trick. But because all hope is lost, he fails. There's nothing that can save him anymore. There's nothing to do. So he fails. So, why am I bringing this all up? What does this have to do with Vratnar failing at his meteor jump? Well, I believe it's some sort of a similar case with Manfred von Karma's finger snap. So, we learned after all that Baron is behind this Spearos attack. And so, they might have granted him some extra powers of sorts. This can also explain the overcharged Spearos mode. Don't know, perhaps. And so, this makes the frostbite attack even more significant, because for the first time we are shown it to be proven strong enough to even ruin a signature move of one of our heroes. So Vratnar doesn't have a lot of screen time, but then again, we have at least some of us has played Stick War 3 campaign through. We know how strong Vratnar is, and how strong that meteor jump is. So it's not a small feat to try and cut it. And it's something sort of a subtle storytelling there also. And it really sets up Baron as a real threat. At least what I believe it to be. Alright, so tangent over. What else there's to be discussed other than just Ares and him finally becoming a better person? You can say it's a character arc. Well, it's not a character arc that would take something more time, but again, it's not bad either. And it's predefined character development. It's pretty solid as that. And what else there's to be talked about? Well, in the end, Dekimus still says That all right. Now the ship is ready for Nevi and our travelers, so we can depart from Inamorta, and that he will stay at home. Because, yeah, he's an old grandpa at this point, old man weakened by his age. And I'm sure he has some of the better things to do back at home, like he states himself. And so we end up in another great cliffhanger, waiting till the next part 7. So, part 5, Frostfire, I would give 7.5 out of 10. It's very solid and all that, but there isn't much to talk about. And or perhaps no. 8 is good. 8 out of 10. And for part 6, I was planning to give 10 out of 10, but because of those errors, the fact that just the thing that Diro couldn't sense Aris's body was, it's kind of what, wait, what, why, what there is. So after all, I'm still going to count it as a negative, unless it's somehow explained in the near future. There can be a chance. If it's not explained, then 9 out of 10. So, part 5, Frostfire, 8 out of 10. Part 6, 9 out of 10. Alright.